Oh, he's Hey everybody, this is JB, of course 6481, it's the number. Here with a review, of course, of the Blue Team, Smackdown, WWE. This is for the Legends of the Ring channel. With me, Mr. Joe Capone, who's going to handle TNA, of course. Good job on your review, Joe. And some guy named Sean Long, I don't know if you guys ever heard of him, he's a pretty cool guy. He's going to be taking care of Raw for me, so thank you very much, Sean, for that. As far as SmackDown, and this is on Friday, February 25th, 2011. Just some thoughts, IMOs, you know, things like that. You guys might be interested in, as far as what actually happened, my opinions and things of that nature. First things first, open up the show with Teddy Long talking about how Vicky Guerrero is supposedly going to get fired, what's going to come from that, how she's going to fight for her job, and pitted up a match, of course, with Vicky Guerrero and Drew McIntyre, who totally was out in left field and had nothing to do with the situation, against Kelly and Edge, who was just rehired by Teddy Long when he came back last week. We'll get more into that momentarily. That's set up for the main event. The next opening match, of course, a very good David Goliath opening style match, of course, with Rey Mysterio against Kane. Rey Mysterio is in a David Goliath style every time he faces anybody, because he's the smallest wrestler there, but of course one of the better workers. Very big, very high up on Rey Mysterio, in my opinion. It's a good solid match, of course, to start out the show. At the end, of course, we have an appearance from Dusty Rhodes, who came in, wanted to talk about how Rey was a big part of the, big friend of the family, and of course, talking about how Cody Rhodes should apologize to Rey for blaming him for Cody's busted nose. And then, of course, they call Cody Rhodes out. Cody Rhodes just makes an apology. Him and Rey Mysterio shake hands. Dusty Rhodes and Rey Mysterio hug, shake hands, and then Rey Mysterio gets attacked from behind by Cody Rhodes. Gets totally pummeled. There are some rumors, and I'll go on that here in just a second as well, as to why this happened. In my opinion, and this is what I think they were trying to do with Cody Rhodes, to make him more of a prominent heel. As you know, they got him towards the top of the ramp, and he grades Rey Mysterio's face across the ramp there, and then they took Rey Mysterio, and Cody Rhodes has this gimmick, of course, where he has a mirror on the right below the Titantron, where he looks, and of course it shows what the crowd sees on the other side of the Titantron there. Well, he throws Rey Mysterio into the mirror, which in my opinion, of course, got rid of the dashing gimmick that's all about Cody Rhodes right now. I was a big fan of the gimmick because of the vignettes, of course, that he did on a week-to-week basis. I cracked up on those every time they came on. I actually look forward to those after the commercial breaks. But you know, I'm a big Cody Rhodes fan myself, so for him to go into a more serious villain or heel per se I'm big on. So good job with that, WWE. And then when he takes Rey Mysterio's mask and holds it up like this. indicating something. Now, spoiler alert: Rey Mysterio is actually there's rumors of him having some type of contract squabble with WWE right now. So that's a confirmed rumor. From my sources that I have, I don't show that it's anything that's confirmed as actually going on as of yet. So I'm not going to go really too much further into that. But that could be a reason, of course, why that came to be. Next up, of course, we have the bathroom break match with Layla versus Rosa Mendez. With the WWE Women's Division, I'm not going to really go into that. That they don't push the workers, of course, in the women's division, how I feel that they should, and they're really on there just to look pretty and to be honest. I mean, but nonetheless, it happened. Everybody, I'm sure, went and got their popcorn in the live crowd at that time. Then we have Jack Swagger against Kofi Kingston, non-title match, of course, in which good match. Of course, showed Kofi's injuries, to play his injuries off. Earlier in the week, of course, on Monday Night Raw, he got his arm obliterated by Alberto Del Rio. So, it's a good match, of course, to play off his injuries there. As far as next thing, of course, we have Vicky Guerrero walking around trying to get help from pretty much everybody, just what they can do to save her job, and goes up to Chavo. Chavo's like, no. So next thing, of course, we have a lot of course, dead air time and things of that nature between the matches. There are very few matches on this week's SmackDown. But the next thing we have up is the Big Show Wade Barrett match. Wade Barrett is actually being played down for some reason. Ever since he's been to SmackDown, he's been kind of lost in the shuffle, which kind of disappoints me, honestly. I'm pretty high on Wade Barrett myself, but with the Big Show match, of course, he was holding his own against Big Show. Big Show actually ended up throwing him outside the ring, and of course the rest of the core came out. Ezekiel Jackson, Justin Gabriel, and Heath Slater. And of course they were getting ready to all four pounce on the Big Show. And the Big Show, of course, comes in with a chair, scares them all away. That's pretty much it. Go to commercial. After that, we have a lot of different, like I said, there's only a few matches. I wasn't really too happy with this week's SmackDown, but other things that, of course, they showed was the John Cena rebuttal against The Rock, which I was actually very high up on. I'm going to let Sean get more into that coming up on Monday or Tuesday when he gets his review up. But with both of those, both that and, of course, the Triple H and Undertaker that happened, the stare down that happened on Raw, of course, that was two major things that they wanted to, of course, play off on SmackDown. Undertaker's a big part of SmackDown, and he's going to be there next week, so can't wait for that. Big Undertaker guy. But with those two things, it took a lot of the time, of course, showing what happened with Rock 2 weeks later, or earlier on SmackDown. A week later, then we had the John Cena rebuttal, and then we, of course, had the Triple H Undertaker's stare down. After all of that, of course, we get to the main event where we have Edge and Kelly against Drew McIntyre, random person from way out in left field, and Vicky Guerrero. It's a decent match, of course. You're not really, it'd be stupid for them to put Drew McIntyre or Vicky Guerrero over Kelly and Edge, which I'm not really too big on the whole. Not really too big on the whole firing angle. Dolph Ziggler, of course, got fired the week beforehand. Not too big on it, or fired, so to say. Not too big on it, of course, but it got the crowd going. Vicky is probably the best heel personality in WWE. Anytime she walks into the arena, she is jeered to. Nobody can stand her. I'd actually clap for her for aspect, because in the terms of wrestling personalities, it's a lot harder for have a whole crowd just hate you and just eat out of your hand than it is to actually be what is known as a baby face and have the crowd cheer for you. You can pretty much just have some people cheering for you, at least. So I mean that's it's a good thing for the crowd. I actually watched the crowd that whole time, and that everybody was, of course, singing along with the "Na Na Na" song, "Goodbye." So it was a good thing for the crowd. I wish my opinion on this SmackDown, if I can give it a letter grade, of course, would probably be more of a C minus. I wish they would play more as far as WrestleMania type of. Play more as far as what feuds are going to lead into WrestleMania, or what feuds can start to build up into WrestleMania. They did, of course, Alberto Del Rio versus Edge at the end, and Alberto Del Rio, of course, just destroyed Edge at the end of the tag team match there. Of course, as Vicky was begging and pleading, and again for somebody to help her keep her job. But all around, like I said, I give it a C minus. Wasn't a very good show, except for the, in my opinion, as far as for the crowd effect, it was good at the end for the main event. My biggest thing, of course, was the Cody Rhodes Rey Mysterio segment. I'd love for them to do Cody Rhodes versus Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. That would be a very good lead up to a match, of course, between the two. It's now gotten personal, so that would be a great lead up for those two going into the hoopla of WrestleMania 27, Georgia Dome. So that's my review on the SmackDown. Of course, Joe Capone, if you want to check right there, that's his review on the Impact channel, the Impact taping happened Thursday. Of course, we're going to be getting up with Sean Long. It's going to be doing Raw for us. Again, thank you guys very much for watching, and you guys are great. Thanks.